pen of Alan Ayckbourn. Nigel Hawthorne, Imogen Stubbs, Michael Maloney and Gwen Watford star in Relatively Speaking.
It's this sunny afternoon. Save me, save me, save me. Got a big step
Hello, 346 Oh, okay. Hello. Hello? Hello, 3467. Who is that? Oh. The return of Sabu. Anybody seen an elephant?
Hello? 3467? Can I help you? Hello? 3467, who is that? Ginny? Ginny? Ginny?
What? Greg? Greg? Oh. Did you call?
No,
What are you doing?
just reading my fortune.
Was that the phone?
When?
Just now.
No.
Oh. You sure?
According to this, I'm going to meet much trial and tribulation, but will eventually find true love and marry a girl with a birthmark on her left thigh. Nobody I know.
Nor me.
I'll keep a lookout.
It's not a birthmark. It's a beauty spot. Kettle should be boiling. I put it on.
Good.
Make the tea, darling, or I'll never be ready. The alarm didn't go off as usual.
Don't usually need one with this bed. So narrow, one of us falls out automatically as a rule. We ought to market it. What time's your train then?
8:24.
Oh, well, have a good time, won't you?
Greg,
Yes?
stop it.
Oh, no.
What?
More of them.
What?
Bloody flowers all over the place. In the sink here as well.
Oh, those.
Where are you working these days, for heaven's sake? Kew Gardens?
I like them.
So do I, in their place. They're molting all over everything in here.
Oh, give them to me. I'll put them in the bath.
Fine, plant some water lilies while you're there.
Have you made the tea?
Just about. Oh, the petals in the kettle.
Hello, lovely.
What you gorgeous.
Will you miss me today?
Hmm?
I said, will you miss me today?
Miss you? Me? No, I'll be having a great time. Action-packed, simply thrilling day. And parties all the way, what?
I'll miss you too.
Hmm.
My God, look at the time. I'll never make it. I must have some tea. What's wrong?
Nothing. I got the idea someone was following me, that's all.
Oh, my God. My husband.
Could be.
Oswald. How did you find out?
No, sir. I insist. If you're going to shoot, shoot as built.
I love him, Oswald. I love him.
We'll die together, I tell you. Go on, shoot. Shoot. Damn you. Bam!
I'm going to miss my train.
Who cares?
No, I can't.
Let me guess what you're thinking.
You'll have a job. Here.
Towel. I will bet you were admiring my slippers.
Your slippers.
Look.
What a daft idea.
Oh, you weren't?
Sorry, no.
Oh.
I didn't know you got any.
Ah. That's just the point.
What?
That is just the point.
Honestly.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm going to miss you.
Will you?
Did you think I wouldn't, Greg?
Depends on how much you live it up, I suppose.
With my parents? That made me laugh.
Then why go?
Only for one day. I'll be back tonight.
One day is half a weekend.
I haven't seen them for ages.
Oh, duty.
Partly. I'm fond of them, too.
Would I like them?
Yes, I think so.
Good. Can I come?
Yes, you must.
Now, with you.
Oh, for the 100th time, I told you. They're not expecting you. I can't just bring someone down out of the blue. They'd never forgive me.
I'm very taken with these slippers, I must say. What do you think of them?
What?
These, do you like them?
They're all right. Why?
I just wondered what you thought of them, that's all.
Well, they're just slippers, aren't they?
Yes. Just about sums them up.
Am I supposed to have done something, Greg?
I don't know, have you?
I don't know. You're the one who's carrying on.
Me? I'm just quietly lying here, that's all.
Doing your best to annoy me.
Nonsense.
Oh, yes, you are.
Now, why should I want to annoy you? Tell me,
Why should I want to do that?
Oh, go tell hell. I think your bedroom slippers are simply bloody marvellous.
Thanks.
What do you look like?
What's wrong?
Talk about me having a birthmark. You've got one.
Where? That is not a birthmark. That's a scar. This bottom has seen active service, I'll have you know. Oh, for crying out loud, what is going on?
What?
This bath is full of flowers.
Yes, I put them there. I said I was going to.
Hey, you put one bunch in the bath. I mean, like 5 altogether.
Really?
5. 5, 6, 7, 8. Where did they come from?
That's the bunch you brought me.
Oh, man, the 2-shilling bunch, I know, but whose are these,
Well, you know the little man who sells flowers on the corner of the road? The one who has the stall?
No.
Well, there's a little man on the corner of the road that sells flowers. on a flower stall. And he was selling them off cheaply yesterday evening. Saturday, end of the week. I thought I'd buy a bunch for the weekend, and he said I could have 5 bunches for the price of 2. Well, I couldn't refuse, could I?
No,
Probably stolen.
from the Queen Mother's garden.
Yes.
As long as I know. Oh, by the way, where are the other 2 from?
Oh, he gave me those as a present.
I see.
Want some more tea?
Please. Tell me, what makes your parents so frightened of meeting strangers?
Oh, they're not. It's just that they're old-fashioned, I suppose. They like to do things properly.
Don't you think they'll approve of me?
Of course they will. Well, my father, he's a bit difficult, I suppose. You know, he wants the best for me, at least what he thinks is the best for me.
I am the best.
I know that. But I've got to convince them, haven't I? Anyway, my mother gets into an awful panic if people come down when she's unprepared. There's your tea.
Thanks.
What's the time?
22.
Oh, I'm going to miss it.
Take a taxi.
Oh, I knew it.
I'll phone for one.
Oh, damn.
I said I'll phone for a taxi.
Well, you'll have to. Go on.
I've got my socks
Oh,
on.
you're no use at all.
Who lives at the Willows, Lower Pendham Bucks?
How do you know that?
Who lives there?
Where did you find that address?
That's very grand. The Willows, Lower Pendham.
Have you been going through my things?
No.
Then tell me where you got that address from. I want to know.
It's written on here. Look. The Willows, Lower Pendham Bucks. Anyone we know?
No.
Who?
My parents.
Ah. Well, I mean, you may have a lousy memory for all I know. I mean, I could never be called a devoted son. My parents will back me up on that, but at least I can remember where they live.
I wrote it down for someone at the office, a girl. Only she forgot to take it. She knows them because we went to school together. She wanted to write to them. All right.
I believe you.
Quite sure.
Yes.
Quite.
Yes. Shut up.
Oh, you make tea like licorice as well. I don't know why I put up with you.
Tell me something.
What?
Why do you put up with me?
Well,
Well?
maybe for the same reason that you put up with me. You're a fantastic lover, if that's any consolation to you.
It's nice.
Now, if we order a taxi in about 5 minutes, that should get me to the station with about 10 minutes to spare. Oh, don't forget, I've got to buy... Oh, God. Oh, big joke. Oh, what a damn stupid thing to do. What's got into you?
Sorry.
You should think so. Look at the mess. I'll have to get a cloth. Look. If you're sick of me, say so. I mean, we can't go on like this. It's daft, isn't it?
If that's how you feel.
How I feel? Oh, that's marvellous. Look, I don't know what it is, but I hope you'll have got over it by tonight, that's all. I've got quite enough to worry about without being messed around by you.
What the hell do you think you're doing to me?
What? Hello? Yes. No. No, I'm afraid you've got the wrong number. Yes. Goodbye. What did you mean just now?
I better pack up.
Greg?
Work it out during your jolly weekend at the Willows, Lower Pendham.
Greg?
Get lost.
Don't forget your beloved slippers, will you?
Oh, those.
Here.
I don't want them. They're no use to me.
Oh, for heaven's sake, take them.
What size are they as a matter of interest?
Oh, how should I know?
They'll be written on them somewhere. Have a look. On the instep.
10s, it says. Why?
No good to me. I take 8s. See if they fit you.
Well, that's a bit stupid, isn't
What
it?
is?
Well, getting 10s, I mean, if you take 8s.
I didn't get them.
Who did then?
No idea. My slippers are 8s.
Well, whose are these then?
I don't know. I just found them lying about.
Where?
Under your bed. Our bed. Well, somebody's bed, anyway. That bed there. Perhaps it belongs to the bloke who owns the slippers.
So that's it, is it?
It's rather odd, really. When I woke up just now, I was a bit dozy, you know, and I did what I do at home. I fished with my feet under the bed for my slippers. It's one of my habits, that is. One of my idiosyncrasies. Helps me recognise myself when I'm half asleep. I always think that's important, don't you? The first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is to make sure you know who you are. So I have a terror of that. Losing my identity in the night. Some people are frightened of burglars breaking in. With me, it's stealthy midnight brainwashers. Anyway, I did this fishing around with my feet business, and I thought to myself, steady, lad. You're in for a shock. They won't be there. This is her flat you're in. Don't panic now. You're the same person you were when you went to sleep last night, only the bed has changed. And then, the blow. A pair of alien slippers attached themselves to my toes. I can tell you that's an experience I wouldn't care to go through again. Nearly split my personality right up the middle. Do you know that? Very nasty.
You really do jump to conclusions, don't you?
In those slippers, I do.
No, you really do jump to conclusions.
Now and again. Like wondering why when you answer the phone you say yes to someone and then no. I can't quite work that out.
How do you mean?
Just now. What did the person calling say when you answered the phone?
I can't remember.
Well, whatever they said, you said yes. I mean, did they say, is that 3457?
They might have done something like that. What's the matter?
No, they couldn't have done, or you'd have said, no, this is 3467.
No, look, where's this getting us? I'm in a hurry.
Wait. This is interesting. On the other hand, did they say, is that 2467, and you thought they said 3467? Is that it?
Maybe. I misheard them, probably.
Ah, so they thought they got the right number.
Yes. No, they didn't.
Well, they must have done it because you said yes. I mean, if I ring someone up and when they answer I say, is that 2467, and they say yes, I'm inclined to take their word for it, aren't you?
Well, he soon realised his mistake anyway.
Oh, it was a him, was it? What did he say?
I don't know. He said, is that Jack or something?
I see. Jack. You said yes, and he said, is that Jack? Poor old Jack. There's something definitely wrong with Jack. Whatever happened to Jack, I wonder?
Maybe he said Betty. Oh, I don't know. He said, is that somebody or other? And I said no.
Let's settle for Betty.
No, anything, so long as you're happy.
Oh, I think Jack would be a lot happier, too. I wonder who it could have been. Perhaps it was that funny little bloke who runs the flower stall on the corner. He seems a bit confused. Poor old soul.
All right. Happy. Satisfied. All settled. Good.
Thank you. I'll get you a taxi, shall I?
Oh, yes. Thank you. You don't trust me at all, do you?
Oh, shouldn't let it worry you.
Well, it does, because you get unbearable.
Might just be me and my simple mind. Oh, hello. May I have a taxi, please? Straight away. 41 Redbury Square. Yes. My name is Miss Whittaker. That's right. I'm outside waiting, and I'm wearing a tangerine dress and a white coat. Bye.
You're mad. You know that. You're a complete lunatic. You must make a resolution. Never, never to say goodbye when we've just had a quarrel. No matter, we must make it up first.
Okay.
Do you know, I was thinking, the first time I ever saw you, do you remember?
Well, it was only a month ago. I'm not the one with a lousy memory. Malcolm's party.
That's right. I saw you sitting there, and I thought, him. I want to get to know him. He looks interesting. He looks different from the rest of this lot. So I looked at you and I smiled, and you scowled back ever so sweetly, and I thought, he doesn't like me. I'll make him like me, so I chatted you up.
And I thought, who the hell's this garrulous bird twittering away 16 to the dust?
It wasn't as bad as that.
What? Within 10 minutes you were telling me your unhappy experiences. I didn't know whether to give you a kiss or give you half a crown.
Oh, happy times. Is the taxi here yet?
You'll be lucky.
I have to do my nails on the train.
No taxi.
Darling, could you see if there's any polish remover in the top drawer? It's a small white bottle.
Okay. Stuck.
Oh, it often does that. Pull it from underneath.
It's this fiendish cut-price Oriental furniture. Hell.
Clumsy,
Developed a sweet tooth?
Oh, those.
Yes. Who sold you these, then?
No one. They're samples. Free samples. I know a girl, you see, who works in this chocolate place, and she gets them free. Only she's dieting, so she gives them to me.
I thought you were dieting.
Yes, I am. Only not as much as her, though.
I see.
Well, where else did you think I got them from?
Plenty of explanations spring to mind. The most charitable one would be to say they were left over from my predecessor.
Who?
You know, the man you've forgotten all about, remember?
Oh, that was ages ago. No.
I see. You never say much about him, do you?
I told you.
Not much.
It's all forgotten. I've forgotten what he looks like, even.
Where's he gone, then?
Back to his wife, I expect. I don't know.
The older man. Must be nice to be with someone their own age, isn't it? I mean, you two couldn't have had much in common. Did he give you lectures on the Boer War?
Don't get bitchy.
Well...
Greg? What would you have done if you'd ever met him?
I'd have hit him. Hard.
I believe you would.
Anyway, I'm damn glad for your sake he walked out on you.
He didn't walk out on me, I walked out on him.
Oh, of course.
I did.
Yes, I'm sure you did. I was just thinking, though, how often have you met someone who's been walked out on? I mean, I must know dozens of people at one time or another have walked out on someone, but I've rarely met any of the people they've walked out on. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, where do all these poor jilted people go to? That's what I want to know. They can't all be floating in the rivers. They'd be clogged up by now. It's a bit like elephants when they die, or flies in wintertime, don't you think?
I really wouldn't know.
Why did you walk out on him?
I had my reasons.
Oh?
Look, I'm not going to tell you, so you may as well shut up.
All right.
I don't know why you're so interested anyway. I don't give a damn about your past life.
Ah, but my life didn't begin till I met you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell. Where is that taxi?
You can ring the bell when he gets here.
Not if he's looking for a man in a tangerine dress and a white coat, he won't. Lunatic man.
I was thinking, you know, maybe it might be a good idea if we got married pretty soon.
When? Now?
No.
Oh, good. Just going to say I'd have to go and change my
No,
dress again.
seriously.
When did you suddenly get this idea?
But it might be a good thing.
I take it you're proposing to me.
Yes, I suppose I am, really, if you look at it that way.
Well, either you are or you aren't.
Yes, I am.
I see. I'm just going out, actually.
The taxi won't be here for a second. Surely it doesn't take you that long to make up your mind.
I'm afraid it does. If you're serious, I don't know what to say. I love you very much. More than I've ever loved anybody, I think. And I think I'll probably say yes. One day. But not at the moment.
I see.
Greg? Have you really thought about this? I'm sorry to ask. It's not as if you're asking me away for a dirty weekend or something, or even a dirty month.
Oh, a dirty great lifetime, I know.
Who have you known apart from me? How many other girls?
Well...
I mean really known. You know what I mean?
Well, Well...
I'm the first, aren't
Oh,
I?
if it's that obvious.
Look, it doesn't make any difference to me. But what about you? For all you know, compared to someone else, I might be the biggest bitch on earth.
Well, you're not, are you?
Be bad luck if we married and then you found out, wouldn't it?
What do you want me to do? And chase round, knock on doors, take a census?
I just want you to be sure,
I'm
that's
sure.
all right.
I know what I'm doing, don't worry.
No, fine. Good.
No chance you'll have made your mind up in a couple of minutes, is there?
Why?
I just thought if I could come down now and see your parents...
No, Greg.
It's only that...
No,
I-
no. Darling, I can't just... Oh, hell, there's the taxi. I'll have to run. Do you want to come down and see me off? Look, I'll be back about 7. You can come round and let yourself in if you like.
I don't want to worry you, but that's not the taxi driver.
It isn't?
Not unless he's come without his vehicle. There's no cab out here.
Oh, look, I'll see who it is.
I'll go.
No, great, it's all right, let me...
I'll go.
No,
Give
great.
me a second.
No.
Wait there.
Yes? It is? Now listen, I've had about as much as I can stand from you. Oh, yes, you do. We have discussed it over and over again, and... No. And if you ring me up again, because it's damned annoying to start with... Yes. Yes. Yes.
Back again.
Oh.
Surprise, surprise. It was a ginger lady from next door. Parcel for you. She took it in. Look.
Oh, yes. That's nice. Thank you.
Aren't you going to open it?
No, not now. It's only some stupid book. They keep sending them to me. I don't know why I've asked them not to.
Who?
The book people. I don't want it. No use to me.
Oh. Was that the phone?
When?
Just now?
No. Must have been downstairs.
Oh, yes. That must have been it.
I'm wondering whether to start walking it, you know. I mean, it will only take me about 10 minutes, won't it? Oh, do you know, I've remembered where those slippers came from.
Where?
Did you ever meet my friend Jane?
Jane who?
The girl I used to share this flat with. Oh, no, you didn't. She left just before I met you.
Don't tell me they were her.
No, but she had a puppy.
A puppy?
Well, a dog, really. They were his.
I see. What was he, a Great Dane?
No, he was,
St. Bernard?
No, he was one of those little dogs,
Oh, well, I'll say this for him. He may only have had 2 legs, poor little thing, but he had a fine pair of feet for a dog his age.
a dachshund. That's it.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm looking for the other pair. I can't bear this. The thought of that poor little puppy staggering around this flat with 2 huge feet. Hang on. Wait a minute. Perhaps he only wore those on his front legs. Perhaps he wore Wellingtons on his back legs for when he went out. Of course. He just changed legs depending on whether he was coming in or going out. Clever dog.
Have you finished?
Just about.
Greg.
Hmm?
Trust me, please.
Yes.
I promise you there's no one else
No?
now. Only you.
Nobody?
No, no, no.
You better go.
Yes. I love you.
Me, you. Bye.
See you.
Willows lower pendant buck.
I can't say I'm very taken with this marmalade.
No, nor am I.
Then why'd you buy it?
Well, I couldn't tell by looking at it, could I? They didn't have our sort.
You'd soon have none than this.
Yes, you say that now. You say that.
If you ask me, we'd have been better off with jam.
You may well say that.
I do. I mean it.
More tea?
Yes, if there's a... Yeah.
Very well.
No.
Playing golf this morning?
I don't think so.
Beautiful day.
Yes?
Be lovely for you up there. Up there on a day like this.
Up where?
Up there on the rings.
Rinks?
Oh, darling, the golf rings.
Links.
Hmm?
Links. Golf links and cuff links. Ice rinks.
Woke you up an appetite. I'd go if I were you.
I think you can safely allow me to arrange my own morning.
All right. I just thought it would invigorate you, that's all.
Don't be late for church, will you?
No, I'm not going this morning.
No?
It's the third Sunday after Trinity. I never do. That man from Dodworth comes over to preach, and we all know about him.
No, I see. It's a very amusing piece here. It's 84% of the people questioned said... Oh, I see.
Said what?
Nothing.
Said what?
Nothing. I thought it was amusing, but it isn't.
Oh.
No letter this morning?
I'm afraid not.
No, none at all.
Not really?
Oh, dear, someone's slipping.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm not really expecting a letter this morning, so I'm not disappointed, but you must be.
I don't know what you mean.
I mean, of the two people living in this house, you're the only one who ever gets a letter on a Sunday. I mean, letters on Sunday. Who ever heard of getting letters on a Sunday? I never had any. Never. I'm quite jealous.
It only happened once.
Oh, once is enough, surely.
I told you it was a mistake.
Ah.
By the post office.
So you said.
It's nice to have you home.
Ah?
See so little of you these days.
Oh, I don't know.
You're always off somewhere.
Well, I can't be home all the time. Don't want to overdo a good thing, do we?
Oh, heavens, no. Heavens. No?
Ah, you want some time to yourself, too?
What for?
Other things?
Oh, yes.
Harry, look at the Coopers. Married nearly 30 years. Couldn't have a happier couple. Sure, it's because he spends 9 months of the year in Rio de Janeiro.
I do hope you don't intend to follow suit.
No, I don't fancy South America at all.
Oh, what about this European business, this trip you were planning?
Oh, that. Well, it's not really settled.
I do hope it's not going to fall through. I was rather looking forward to that.
Oh, you're still keen on the idea?
Yes, of course, aren't you?
Well, I've been going through the details of it, exactly it entails. It's really rather dull.
Dull?
It's not going to be much of a holiday, more of a race. France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, Holland, Denmark, and Sweden, all over in 10 days. Travelling overnight, chasing from railway station to railway station. Very tiring, not much fun.
It didn't sound like that when you mentioned it the other day.
No, that's what it is.
So you'd rather I didn't come?
Well, it's entirely up to you. I can't see you enjoying it for a moment.
No?
Suit yourself, then.
All right. I'll stay behind.
Probably have a better time if you do. You get me out of the way for a couple of weeks,
10 days.
more or less.
Won't you be lonely on your
I
own?
must say it's odd you're getting letters at weekends.
Why?
Well, I mean, here I am away most of the week, and here you are getting letters on Saturdays and Sundays. Not the way I'd carry on.
We seem to have had this conversation before.
I mean, surely half the fun of having an affair is keeping it a secret.
Maybe for you.
I'm speaking theoretically. But the game's up. I've found out. What joint have we got today?
Pork.
Ah, that's nice. With lots of crackling, I hope.
Oh, you're swimming in it.
Hardly the phrase I'd use. I think I'll have a go at the garden today. Well, I'll make a start anyway. Get stuck into those vegetables. Have you seen it lately, the kitchen garden?
Nope.
Absolutely fantastic. Only a couple of weeks, that's all it's been. You ought to see it. Absolutely knee-deep in them, weeds. Nettles, thistles, the lot. And those creeping things. Whatchamacallit. Look like French beans lying down. Of course, knowing that garden, they might well be. I don't think so, though. They look far too healthy. Have to be careful, though. Hacked my way straight through the rhubarb last time. Do you remember that? All that ruddy rhubarb. Even had it for tea. That book's no help either. Never seems to mention anything I'm growing. Well, I don't recognize them from the illustrations anyway. Still, I suppose all nature looks different in black and white. I think we ought to get a man in, you know. Be better off in the long run. Someone from the village, someone who really knows. Your chap doesn't know anything about gardeners, does he?
Nope.
Pity. Might have worked out quite well if he had.
Well, he doesn't. I think I might go down to Kent for a weekend before long.
Sorry?
I think I might go down to Kent for a weekend soon.
Why?
I feel like a change. Natalie has written and asked me.
Natalie?
Yes, she's my cousin.
A cousin?
Yes, she has a cottage there. She's invited me down for a long weekend.
I didn't know you had a cousin called Natalie.
I don't mention her much. She's getting on.
All right. Go ahead.
You don't mind then?
Not in the least.
Good. Well, that's all settled then.
Sheila? Come on.
What?
Oh, let's stop all this, shall we? You know, I know, we both know, so... What's the point?
Point?
Yes. Why keep on with it? What are you trying to prove?
I'm afraid I don't quite follow
Oh, for
you.
the love of Mike, woman. What do you think you're achieving by all this nonsense? You're not fooling anybody, you know. You're certainly not fooling me, and what's more, you know you're not. So why bother to keep on with it?
What?
Oh, you know what well enough. This fatuous rigmarole every damn weekend. I feel as if I'm humouring a lunatic half the time. Is he coming today? Has he written? Has he phoned? Well, I've played along long enough. I'm sick and tired of it, do you hear? That's it. I seriously think you ought to go and see a doctor. You're...
Have you quite finished?
Yeah?
I don't think that I have ever seen or heard such extraordinary behaviour in the whole of my life, really. I don't know what's got into you. I really think you ought to go and do a little digging. Work a little of it off, whatever it is.
Now, go and do some hoeing. Don't feel in the least like digging.
Well, from the way you do it, I can't see that there's very much difference. I'll go and get dressed.
Hello?
Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Are you,
I beg your pardon?
were you wanting to see someone?
Yes.
My husband?
Not altogether.
Me?
Partly.
Oh. Well, then.
I did ring.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Won't you come in?
Thanks.
Do sit down.
Thanks. What a beautiful garden.
Yes, we're fond of it.
No idea it was going to be so nice. Beautiful.
Yes, it is nice, isn't it?
Look at those dirty great delphiniums. I mean, they're huge. How do you get your delphiniums to be that size?
Well, constant practice, really. It's my husband's green fingers.
They're like hollyhocks.
You're quite sure you mean delphiniums?
Well, Those things, whatever they are.
Oh, they're lupins.
Pretty good going, all the same.
Thank you.
This is the Willows, isn't it?
Yes.
Lower Pendon.
Oh, yes.
Bucks?
Yes, the Willows.
Oh, good. I suddenly had this sneaking feeling I got the wrong house.
The Willows.
That's the one.
You like our trees, then?
Yes, I was just admiring them.
Yes, there's something so majestic about trees, isn't there?
Regal.
Such a sense of permanency.
Yes. Wouldn't shift that lot in a hurry.
No, quite. We haven't met before, have we?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
It seems almost as though we have, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does indeed.
Look, I know who you are. I'm Gregory.
Oh, yes?
Greg.
Oh, Sheila. How do you do?
How do you do?
Have you come far?
Not from London.
By car?
No, by train. I caught the early one. Especially...
Especially. You didn't drop by for a glass of water, did you?
No. Why?
It just crossed my mind. People do, quite often.
Really? It's not a spa, is it?
Where?
Here.
Oh, no. No, I don't think so. It may well have been, but it's certainly not. Now, mind you, I am hopeless at history.
Oh.
You haven't come all this way for nothing, have you?
Why?
To take the waters. You weren't under the impression that you could take the waters here, were you?
No.
No.
I seem to be here first.
First?
Yes.
Are there more of you?
No, just her. Only she doesn't know I'm coming, you see.
Oh.
No, she'll probably kill me when she sees me here.
Oh.
I hope you don't mind my arriving out of the blue like this.
No, not at all.
It's just that I caught the same train as her, you see. At least I thought I had. Only she didn't know I was on it. See, she thought I was still at home. Only I wasn't. I was on the train, her train. Only when I got off the other end to surprise her, she wasn't on it. She'd missed it. So I came on up.
I see.
And no Ginny.
Hmm?
No Ginny.
No, I'm afraid not. There's some sherry, if you'd like.
Not just at the moment, thanks.
You're sure?
Thanks all the same.
This is really the first hot spell we've had, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose it is. Incredible.
I beg your pardon?
Quite incredible.
I'm afraid I'm not quite following you.
Don't mind my saying this. It was meant as a compliment.
Not at all.
No, it's just that, well, you're going to slaughter me. You're really going to slaughter me when I say this, but I thought of you as older.
Older?
Yes, much older. I know this is silly, but I thought of you as a sort of grey-haired little old lady.
Well, I wonder where you got that idea from.
Well, one always tends to imagine everyone has one like your own, don't you?
One what?
Mother.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm being terribly dim all of a sudden.
Oh, no, that's all right. No, it's not you. It's probably me. I get nervous at meeting new people. Not just you, everybody. Even bus conductors. You know, there are some mornings when I get on a bus, and I don't know if you feel the same, but there I am sitting there, and there he is, the conductor, working his way up the bus towards me, and I think to myself, I'm not going to be able to say a word to this bloke. You know, he's going to come up to me and say, "Where to, mate?" And I'm going to go, just open my mouth and nothing comes out. So when I get like this, I have to practice, you see. I keep saying it over, fourpenny one. This was one morning I was doing this. I was rehearsing everything, even rehearsing the good morning I was going to say to my landlady, and I got on the bus and asked for a packet of 10 cigarettes. I couldn't speak for the rest of the morning after that, so.
No, of course. I usually go by car.
Ah, well.
So the problem doesn't arise. Although I do remember having to recite in front of the whole school once, and I was desperately nervous. I was very young, of course, and it was a competition, I think, for memory and elocution, and my mind went a complete blank, I'm afraid. I had to read it.
Oh, what bad luck.
Yes, but in the end, I won the prize anyway, so it all ended happily. Yes, that was the only one I ever did win, you know. The memory and elocution.
What was the prize?
I've forgotten.
She ought to be here by now. I don't know where she's got to.
Oh, dear.
Look, I may as well tell you. I asked Ginny this morning, you see.
You did?
We want to get married.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, congratulations.
You're not upset?
Me?
Yes.
Why should I be?
You never know, do you?
No, I suppose not.
And you think that knowing what you do about me, which isn't much, admittedly, that it'll work out.
What?
Our getting married.
Oh, yes, I should think so. I mean, you look healthy enough, and, if you both love each other...
Oh, yes!
Well, then I don't see why not. Of course, I don't really know.
Enough? No, quite. I knew we'd get on. I told her we would. She said you'd scream when you saw me.
Why is that?
Oh, she painted a fantastic picture of you. You don't know. She said that when an extra person turned up to lunch, you went into a panic. That sort of thing.
She did?
Yes.
This is Ginny, is it?
Yes. Well, she obviously doesn't know you, does she?
Not at all.
Oh, she might have said that to put me off. It's a possibility. I hadn't thought of that.
What?
Subliminal jealousy, you know.
Oh.
Comes from being weaned too early or something like that.
Oh.
They say that bottle feeding's never the same, do they?
Do they?
Well, so I've read. I mean, no reflection on you, of course.
No, quite. You said something about staying to lunch.
Oh, that's kind of you. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. But I think if you don't mind, I really ought to make a start. I don't know where my husband's got to.
Oh, can I give you a hand?
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
I have plenty of time to talk to your husband, haven't I? I'm marvellous with potatoes.
Oh, well then, since you're here, you're here. Come on in and I'll make us some coffee.
I can leave my bag here, can't I?
Bag?
Uh,
Oh, yes, that'll be all right, unless it rains.
oh, no, don't worry. I'm not planning to stay for a week or anything. It's just that I don't feel secure unless I've got it. You never know where you might finish up, do you?
Oh, that's very true.
I can have a word with your husband after he's finished, can't I?
Yes, I should. He'll probably be much more help to you than I've been. Now, I really must make a start on the lunch.
Tell me, is he easy?
Easy?
I mean, he prefers it if you're absolutely plain with him, does he?
Oh, yes, he can't bear anything fancy.
Fine.
Good, plain English food. That's Philip.
Eh?
The only thing he can't stand at any price is onions.
Onions?
Yes, isn't it odd? And I adore them.
No, that's not what I meant.
No?
No, I meant me and her.
You and her?
Yes.
Oh. Did you want something, dear?
I can't find the hoe.
Oh, how annoying.
Yes.
Philip, this is Gregory. This is my husband, Philip.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Just been admiring your garden.
Yes?
You seem to have put a lot of work into it.
Yes.
Still, seems to have paid off. Very impressive.
Glad to think so.
No onions, I notice, eh?
You've met my wife, have you?
Oh, yes, yes.
Of course.
Thank you. We've had a long chat.
Good.
Well, I expect you two would like to have a word now.
Well, what about?
Well, I believe Gregory wants to ask you something.
Does he?
I believe so.
What?
Well, I really think you ought to ask him that. I'll go.
Why?
Well, I think it's really something rather personal, I think.
Oh, is it?
Sort of.
Yeah. Well, we haven't met before, have we?
No.
Oh, do take a seat, Mr.
Pointer.
I'll bring some coffee out in a moment.
Wait a minute. Who's he?
I should ask him. He's come to see you.
I've never seen him before. What's he want?
Something personal. You heard what he said.
What?
Ask him. I'll slip away then.
Do sit down.
Thanks.
My wife tells me you want a word with me.
That's right. Been hard at it, have you?
What?
The garden?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yes. Constant battle.
Man against nature.
Right.
I'd offer to give you a hand, only I'd probably uproot all your flowers.
Oh, that'd never do. Can't have two of us doing that. Was it something important?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Come far?
From London. Yes. It's a bit awkward in a way. I seem to have plunged in the deep end. I mean, it was only this morning I woke up and suddenly decided to come down and see you, and now here I am.
I see. It's not a bad train service.
The point is, I don't know how much you know.
Nothing.
Oh,
I'm afraid I've even forgotten your name.
it's Gregory. She said nothing.
About what?
To you, about us.
You and me?
No, me and her.
You and her?
Yes.
You and her. You mean her and you?
Us.
I see.
Oh, she has.
Ah, yes, indeed she has. Oh, yes. She's told me about you. Oh, yes, indeed she has. Oh, yes, you needn't worry about that.
Oh, good, that makes it a bit easier.
A bit easier?
What I came to ask you.
Oh, yes, she's told me. And the letters.
Letters?
Oh, yes, you thought you'd drop in and see me today, did you?
That's right.
Well, I hope you weren't expecting something violent to happen on my part. I don't intend to engage in a free fight. Nor shall I go upstairs and shoot myself. Two popularly recommended courses, I believe.
You do know why I'm here, don't
Well, I
you?
think you can safely leave me to work that out for myself.
Oh, no, you don't have to.
I'd rather.
Oh. I was in two minds about whether or not to come down this morning. And, I thought, have I the courage to ask him?
You're managing very well.
Thanks.
In fact, one could almost imagine that you might have done it before.
Oh, no, not in your life. No, the point is, you see, she doesn't know I'm asking you this.
Doesn't she?
No, but I thought, what have I got to lose?
Very little, I imagine.
Exactly. I thought, good grief, he's not going to eat me. So here I am. If there's any questions you want to ask me, go ahead.
Yes. Well, what are your immediate plans, then?
Ah,
You don't
well,
mind my asking?
No. Well, we're easy, you know. Don't want to rush things. Mind you, I'm not one for long engagements, so if it fits in with your plans, I thought we'd get married sometime after Christmas. Married? Yes.
You're not without a sense of humour, mister.
No, luckily I believe that can come very handy in a marriage.
Indeed it can. Indeed it can.
I am at present earning £16 a week less insurance for an insurance company, and I'm told I have excellent prospects of promotion after 15 years. Before that, I was, amongst other things, a shoe salesman, an under-gardener for the GLC. I got the sack from that. A part-time postman and a temporary porter at Euston Station.
£16?
That's right.
Well, you should be able to buy her a decent breakfast anyhow. That's an important thing.
Do my best to throw in the occasional lunch as well. How about that?
I doubt it. Not on £16 less insurance.
I don't know.
I do. I've kept her.
Other people manage?
Well, they're not her. She's unique.
Oh, yes, sir, she's certainly that.
Yes, I worked it out once. She costs me 30 quid a week to run, and that doesn't include overhead. You'd better speed up that promotion of yours, laddie. Tackle your boss first thing tomorrow morning. Tell him that owing to unforeseen circumstances, your cost of living has trebled overnight.
I see. I take it you're not altogether satisfied with my financial position, is that it? You don't think I can keep her in the manner to which she's become accustomed and all that?
Nobody could do that. She tends to become accustomed to a little more each year.
Can't say I've noticed her overspending. Don't know how long it'll be before I get a rise.
How long you been with the firm?
3 weeks.
Yes, might be a little premature to stick in a pay claim. Well, this certainly poses a problem, doesn't it? Pity you're no gardener.
So I take it you're turning me down on purely financial grounds, is that it?
Well, I'm not, but I think she might.
No, she knows how much I earn. She's prepared to risk it.
Is she?
Yes.
All right, carry on.
You mean you give your consent?
I have very little option.
We can get married?
I'm afraid that's quite out of the question. I think I ought to get you straight on one or two things, young fellow, my lad. As far as I'm concerned, you can leave whenever you like and go wherever you like. You have my blessing. My conditions are these. I'm not prepared to finance you, and marriage is completely out of the question.
But
you must understand that a man in my position can't possibly afford that sort of publicity.
So you'd rather we lived together than got married?
Far rather.
You're a bit round a twist, aren't you?
Aye.
From where I'm sitting, you are. What's all this about publicity?
Now, come now.
What's wrong with getting married? I've read some pretty funny things.
It's rather who you're marrying, don't you think?
Oh, meaning I'm a dead letdown, is it?
Not at all.
Oh, yes. I know what's at the back of that mind of
I
yours.
think that I've been extremely reasonable under the circumstances.
You do you? Well, I want you to listen to me for a minute. I'm doing you a favour. Did you know that? No, I don't expect you did. Well, I'll tell you. First of all, I am not the first one. Still, that is nothing out of the ordinary. Isn't it? Not these days, mate. You're out of touch. But do you know who she was knocking around with before me? Some bloke old enough to be her father, that's who. Yes, I thought that would shake you. Some randy old man, at least 30 years older than her, who got bored with his marriage and decided to muck up her life. Well, it just so happens that I love her enough not to want to see that happen.
30 years?
At least.
Remarkable old gentleman.
Oh, you don't believe me?
I've
Got proof.
Where?
In my bag.
What?
Here, I'll show you. Look.
No, wait. Do you mean to tell me that there have been others?
So I've gathered. She doesn't say much.
How many?
Well, the average number?
What is the average number?
Well, I don't know. About 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
At least.
Men?
Presumably. I should think it over.
Well, Mr.
Pointer.
One lives and learns. This one certainly does.
I hope I've chosen a good moment.
Oh, hello.
I thought we'd have a glass of sherry instead.
Thank you.
Really is glorious out here, isn't it? Sherry, dear? Greg?
Thank you. This is very kind.
Oh, pleasure. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
You two boys been chatting, then?
Yes, we aired 1 or 2 topics.
Everything satisfactory, I hope. I didn't know whether you'd finished or not, so I peeped out, and it looked as though you had.
I do hope we didn't keep you cooped up indoors.
Oh, no. I was peeling vegetables, that sort of thing. I thought we'd have a cosy little lunch out here, just the 3 of us. Are you all right, dear? Not too sweet for you, is it? Philip!
I've mislaid the hose, you know that.
Yes, dear, so you say.
I have a feeling it was you who used it last.
Oh, no, dear.
I hope you realize I've wasted my entire morning. I might just as well have sat here reading the paper. Or gone for a game of golf like I wanted to in the first place. I'd have been better off. As it is, I've spent my whole morning searching for something which should have been put back in its proper place to begin with.
I'm so sorry.
Please me.
Why, me?
You at last.
I did not, dear. You are quite...
I distinctly remember.
No.
Perhaps it's in the shed.
Haven't I made myself clear? I can't find it. It's gone. Vanished. Completely disappeared.
What are you doing?
Looking for the hole.
Well, it won't be in there, will it?
Hardly likely, I should think.
What on earth was the matter with you?
No idea.
You didn't have an argument, did you?
No, we had an animated discussion, I suppose you'd call
Oh,
it.
yes, he's very fond of those, particularly at breakfast. And at the cinema, I don't believe that we have been to see a film for years without having an animated discussion in the middle of it.
It's got some fairly original ideas, hasn't it?
Has he?
Hadn't you noticed?
Oh, well, I've probably heard them so often I've got used to them.
His views on marriage.
Oh, really?
He doesn't believe in it, apparently.
Yes, I've noticed that from time to time. I think it's me he objects to, really.
On the other hand, I suppose he could have just disapproved of me.
Oh, no, I'm sure he didn't. Now, you mustn't take any notice of what he says.
I was pretty blunt with him, I suppose.
Would you like me to try and smooth things over for you?
Or that might help, would you?
Well, I'll probably make him even angrier, but I'll try. Is there anything in particular that you'd like me to say?
It's just that I know so very little about this sort of business.
Business? Oh, yes. Well, now, are there any particular qualifications that you'd like brought out? I mean, you obviously don't want me to recommend you for shorthand and typing.
No, hardly.
No. Well, I think if I say that you display qualities of leadership, with a strong character and a modest and likable disposition, with a good head for figures, that'll cover a multitude of sins, won't it?
you think so?
Yes. Now, you pop into the house, and I'll come and tell you how I've got on.
Right. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
I'll be as quick as I can. That's provided I can find him. Now, straight through and on the left. Oh, and could you turn the oven down a point when you get there? Philip! Philip!
The willows, isn't it?
Yes. Lower pendant. Barks. You'll like our trees, then.
Beautiful, yes.
Yes. There's something so majestic about trees, isn't there?
Yes.
Such a sense of permanency. I mean, you wouldn't shift that lot in a hurry, would you?
No, I suppose not.
I was just looking for my husband. You didn't see anyone just now, did you?
No.
No. Perhaps he's hiding in the shed. He does sometimes when he's upset.
Why is he upset?
I don't know. That's why I'm looking for him. Did you want to see someone?
I'm sorry. I'm Ginny Whittaker.
Oh, Sheila Carter. How do you do?
How do you do?
Ginny. You're Ginny.
You've heard about me?
Oh, yes.
He's told you?
Just now, all about you.
I see. Well...
Oh, I'm so glad you've come. He was getting rather worried. Yes, very.
You don't seem very bothered.
Do you know, you're exactly how I imagined you'd be.
Am I?
From what he told me. Oh, I do hope you don't mind my saying so, but I think you'll make a lovely couple. Sherry?
No, thank you.
Oh, I do hope everything works out all right for you.
Works out?
When you're married?
Married?
Yes, we were only saying a moment ago. No matter how well you think you know someone, it's always a bit of a gamble in the end. Don't you agree? Oh, perhaps I shouldn't have said anything. I know he was hoping to explain it all to you himself. You are staying to lunch, aren't you?
Well,
Oh, good.
do you think I could possibly have a word with your husband?
Husband?
Yes, it's a business matter.
Business?
Yes.
Whittaker. You're Miss Whittaker. You work for my husband.
Oh, well, I used to. Surely you knew that.
Well, how extraordinary. Of course I knew. I'm so sorry. How stupid of me. It's just... Well, it's just... I was under the impression that you were much older.
Really?
Yes, I could have sworn he said that you were due for a dame. That's why I didn't know that your name was Ginny, or at least not the same Ginny. He used to refer to you as old Miss Whittaker. Perhaps he thought I'd be jealous.
Perhaps he did.
Oh, he's very considerate. Well, I'll see if I can rouse him. Perhaps when he hears that you're here.
Yes, that should rouse him.
Philip! Philip! What? Miss Whittaker's here to see you.
Who?
Miss Whittaker! He's just coming. Look who's here.
Ah, Miss Whittaker.
We met at last. Oh, well, I expect you two want to have a word now. I'll go then. I know when I'm in the way. I do so hope everything works out all right for you.
What are you doing here?
She told me your wife was at church.
Not the third Sunday after Trinity. Mr. Dodsworth.
Hush.
No, she's...
You told her?
Told her what?
About us.
I haven't told her anything.
She knows. Hasn't she said anything to you?
Not a word. Not about that. Not about us.
She just told me that we make a lovely couple. She doesn't seem to care.
Oh, well, she's got rather a lot on her mind at the moment. What are you doing here?
This alters things a lot.
What does?
Her knowing.
Don't you mean her going?
Going?
Somewhere in Kent.
Leaving you? How do you know?
She told me, or rather he told me.
Who?
The man in the kitchen.
Who?
Oh, I don't know, some sallow youth. Just now. Came out here, stood over there, calm as you like, and asked me if they could get married. Married to my wife. Yes, you're not losing a wife, you're gaining a brother-in-law, all that sort of thing.
What did you do?
Well, I was as cooperative as I could be. Refused a divorce, of course.
Oh, I bet you did.
Told them that they could go wherever they liked, as far as I was concerned. After all, it's a heaven-sent opportunity as far as we're concerned, isn't it?
We?
Who else?
Philip, no.
No?
There's somebody else.
Yes, I know.
How?
I spoke to her on the phone this morning.
You didn't?
It's all right, no cause for alarm.
Damn you, Philip.
Now, don't get so
damn you.
worked up. I rang off as soon as he
No,
answered.
damn you, Philip. This is serious. This time I'm getting married.
Are you?
He's asked me.
Well, it's infectious, this marriage epidemic, isn't it? I seem to be the only one who's developed immunity.
Philip, if you mess things up for me, I'll never forgive you.
Does he know about me?
A little.
Is he jealous?
He's human.
Does he know where you are today?
Why?
He doesn't, does he?
No. He thinks I'm visiting my parents.
You're
He must be-
who?
Well, I couldn't
They're in
I?
Australia. You really do ask for trouble, don't you? Well, one of these... I'd hate to lead a life as complicated as yours.
You'll never know.
Unless somebody tells them.
They won't.
You've been avoiding me, haven't you?
No, don't.
Why not?
Your wife, they could easily see us through the window.
Don't worry, they'll be far too concerned wondering whether we're looking in at them.
No, Philip. You must understand this has got to stop. It's over, please. Leave me alone.
I have.
Oh, you have not. All those flowers, the chocolates, the phone calls. It's not fair on me, Philip. Can't you see that? Please, leave me alone.
Is that why you came all the way down here today to tell me that?
Yes, that's it.
Right.
And I want those letters back.
Ah, that's more like
No,
it.
Philip, please.
Well, I think they might be safer where they are.
Where are they?
Say,
Philip,
hmm?
are you going to let me have them back or not?
Well, I don't know. They mean rather a lot to me, you know. Sentimental value and all that.
Oh, Philip,
You know,
please.
I think they've been very clever, much cleverer than we have. I think I've underestimated that woman. I mean, here we are, skulking in the shadows, meeting in obscure pubs, inventing elaborate alibis, telephoning secretly at 2 a.m. in the morning, while they, on the other... Do you know, he's been writing to her quite openly. She even read his letters at the breakfast table.
You said nothing?
I didn't believe it. I didn't think any illicit romance could be conducted like that. In fact, I more than once accused her of making the whole thing up.
Why should she?
Not to annoy me, I suppose.
Ah, to make you jealous.
I thought that somehow she got an idea that I was carrying on with somebody and had invented this man. I actually thought she was writing letters to herself. It was all rather pathetic, rather amusing, until the man shows up in person.
I see.
He's not the first either. There have been 5 others,
5?
including an old man of 70. That really was a blow to my pride. Oh, well. Her life's her own from now on.
You're going to let her go?
She's going.
Philip, don't you think if you went in there now, this minute, and told her about us, everything, she'd change her mind?
I don't see why.
No, but isn't that all she's waiting for, really? For you to tell her the truth?
Well, you may be right, but that's always supposing that I do want her back.
Philip, be honest. Could you really do without her? Ask yourself, as you're sitting here, full of the breakfast she's just cooked for you, sitting in the sunshine, waiting for the lunch that's bound to be coming, and the tea and the supper. And you know she'll have made your bed for you, not like me. You'll even get your glass of hot milk, I expect. And your clean shirt in the morning, and your change of socks. They'll be waiting when you get up. And that's all Sheila. I expect she even cleans your bath out after you, doesn't she?
Now and again.
Then make it up with her before it's too late.
I might.
You must. Philip, don't you realize you belong together much more than we ever did?
I'll tell you what. I'll think the matter over.
Where are you going?
Look for the hose. Coming.
I warn you. I'll go in there and tell her myself everything.
Well, if you can catch her attention, you're welcome. Go ahead. By all means, go ahead. Ho. Hi, ho. Hi, ho. Yes, off to what we go.
All right, then. All right.
Ah, at last. I thought you got lost or something. I got here first. Do you like my apron? I think it rather suits me. It's your mother's.
My mother's?
We're having a busy morning. So sorry. Well, me and your parents.
Oh, what have you been saying?
Oh, don't worry, don't worry. Nothing terrible. I haven't sworn all morning. So sorry.
What are you doing here?
If you hadn't missed the train, none of this would have happened, would it? I presume you missed the train.
Greg, you idiot. I told you not to come.
Why not? We're getting on like a house on fire. At least your mother and I are. In fact, she's even prepared to put in a good word with the old man. See if she can persuade him.
To do what?
Let us get married, of course. You were right about him, by the way.
Was I?
I'll say you were.
What did he say?
Well, he's eccentric, isn't he? I couldn't get through to him. It might have been me, I don't know. We didn't take to the idea very much anyway. Perhaps you could have a word with him too. Try and sort him out.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I will. Provided you're out of the way while I talk to him.
Yes, sure.
Right. Now, why don't you leave quietly now? Get the next train back and I'll try and see what I can do.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I've been invited to lunch. Your mother insisted. She'd be very hurt.
Oh, but surely...
No, I can't. I'll have to stay. I'll just keep out of the way for a bit, that's all.
You must go.
No, I can't. Now, be reasonable. Anyway, I must get back to my kitchen. I'm involved in a large-scale cooking operation rolling out pastry for your mother. It's very satisfying. No wonder cooks are fulfilled people. You coming?
Greg,
What?
there's something I have to tell you.
Go on.
When I do, you'll probably walk out of here and never want to see me again. You're right, you see, Greg, not to trust me.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to be honest with you. I don't know where to start.
Well, what haven't you told me? You mean about the bloke on the phone, is that it?
Well, that's part of it. Oh, I don't know where to start. To begin with, Sheila, that woman in the kitchen, isn't my mother.
Isn't?
No, I'm not her daughter. I'm no relation of hers at all. On top of that, I've... Oh, God.
Hey, it's all right. I understand.
I'm finished.
You don't need to, love. I understand.
No,
Now,
Greg,
come on,
I
now,
just-
snap out of it. That's enough. Sit down. Don't get worked up. You're so highly strung. Here, mop up.
Thank you.
There we are. Better?
Yes.
You've let this get on top of you, haven't you?
Have I?
Is that why you didn't want me to meet them? Is that it? You've been going around nursing this so-called guilty secret because you were frightened to tell me?
Yes.
All right, so she's not your mother. So what? Nobody knows, do they? And even if they did, they wouldn't condemn you for it. Certainly not me.
But,
No,
Greg,
I love you for you, not for who your parents are or were. But then now, come on, now snap out of it. This is not the Victorian age, you know. I'm not going to run off because of that. You should have said it straight out instead of bottling it up. All you had to say was, Greg, I'm illegitimate, and I'd have said, okay, fine, that's all.
What?
Now, come on. You've got to lick this thing. Say it.
Say what?
Say it. I'm illegitimate. Come on. No. I'm illegitimate.
Greg,
Say it.
I-
Come on. I'm illegitimate. Illegitimate. Again.
Illegitimate.
Good. Again. There you are. Once more. I yell it out.
I'm illegitimate!
Well done.
Hello.
Oh. Hello.
Having a tiff?
No. A bit of therapy.
Oh, that's nice. It's lovely weather for it. Are you going to finish the pastry?
Of course. Get kneading again. You coming, Ginny? We can find her something to do, can't we?
Oh, yes, I'm sure we can.
Come on, love.
You two go ahead and I'll finish laying the table.
Right. Come on, love, this way. You ought to know your way around by now.
Hello, dear. Been busy? Expect you're hungry. Lunch won't be long.
Sheila, I think we ought to straighten out one or two things.
Ought we?
I think so.
What sort of thing?
Well, I'd like to know your plans.
Plans?
Yes, your immediate plans.
Well, it's nothing very spectacular. I'm just going to finish laying the table, and then I'm going into the kitchen to see how they're getting on with the pastry.
Yes, I meant slightly further ahead than that. I don't think there's any need to be facetious.
Well, lunch, that's about...
Taylor, for heaven's sake! We must stop avoiding issues. We've got to face things sooner or later.
Don't shout, dear, don't shout. They'll hear you in the road. We've got to face what?
Your future. How do you intend to spend the rest of your life?
Oh, why'd you ask me that? Is it the insurance?
Taylor, please, talk to me. For once, woman, when I ask a question, try to give me an answer to the same question, and not one you happen to have made up. I'm not talking about lunch. I'm not talking about insurance. I'm talking about you and that lout in the kitchen.
Lout?
What, that young man, then, who calmly accosted me in my beautiful garden and asked me if he could marry my wife.
Your wife? You mean me?
Yes.
You mean Gregory?
Yes.
Gregory asked you if he could marry me.
Don't you stop pretending you didn't know.
Have you been in the pub this morning?
No, why?
Well, it sounds as though you've been in there since last night. Oh, really, dear, what on earth is the matter with you? You talk about me being harebrained.
So you deny it, then?
Well, of course. In any way, it's out of the question. He certainly never mentioned it to me. Oh, really, dear. You've got hold of entirely the wrong end of the stick. I don't know how you've managed it, but let me put your mind at ease at once and say that Gregory has certainly no intention of wanting to marry me.
He hasn't?
No, of course not. Anyway, it's out of the question. He's already engaged. Oh, poor boy, no wonder he was so confused. What have you been saying to him?
And you also deny the 4 or 5 others?
What?
Including the man of 70?
Who's he?
Your lover.
Oh, 70? Oh, thank you very much. I'm flattered.
See.
You know, I really think you ought to wear a hat when you go gardening in the sun, don't you?
So it's all untrue?
Yes, dear.
And there's no one else?
Ah, wouldn't you like to know?
But it's not Gregory.
Oh, dear. Now, why don't you come and sit down and have a nice rest? You look all hot and flustered, and you've obviously been overdoing things again. Is it that hoe that's upset you?
What hoe?
Never mind. I tell you what, we'll all have a jolly good look for it after lunch. How's that? Now, you just sit there and don't move. Oh, thank you, Gregory. That is kind of you.
I finished the pastry. It's as flat as it will go.
Oh, yes, I'll see to it now. Try not to upset my husband again, if you can help it. I think he's a little overtired.
Oh, right.
Hello.
Hello. I was just chewing over our little chat together earlier.
Oh, were you?
Yes. I think we might have been, I think there might have been a certain amount of misunderstanding.
Really? I hope so.
Yes, so do I. You see, for reasons which I can't really begin to justify, a rather complicated set of circumstances following on a rather peculiar conversation which I'd just been holding led me to believe, quite erroneously, that you wanted to marry my wife. That's the impression I got at the time, anyway.
You thought I wanted to marry your wife?
Yes. Silly misunderstanding.
She's married, isn't she?
Yeah, well, yes, quite. I got that idea from somewhere.
Very odd.
Yes. You don't, do you?
What?
Want to marry her?
No.
No. That little obstacle's out the way. Always good to know where one stands in these matters.
If you don't mind my saying, it was rather a peculiar thing to think, wasn't it?
Yes, I suppose it was.
Mind you, I suppose you must have thought I was rather peculiar, come to that.
I'm afraid I did.
Do you know, I got the impression that you did. Oh, it's a horrible feeling, that, isn't it? Knowing that someone is looking at you and thinking this is a peculiar person and not knowing why they're thinking. You know, rather like going to a party in a new suit with a label still stitched to the seat of your trousers.
Really? That's not happened to me.
Oh, you're lucky then. I make a habit of that sort of thing. Well, no, not that exactly. I've only got one suit and that was father's. But you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, wait till you get it.
Thanks.
There's just one small point.
What?
If you didn't want to marry my wife, who is it that you did want to marry?
Well, Your daughter?
Ah. My daughter.
That's right.
You want to marry my daughter, do you?
If you don't mind.
Oh, well, now you have posed a bit of a problem.
Have I?
It's not your day, is it? Sorry. I have an aunt who's eligible, has been eligible for years, so she might not be quite what you're looking for. Though, if you're desperate, she might do you. Or there's my wife's cousin Natalie, who seems to want cheering up.
No, it's only your daughter I'm interested
I'm
in.
afraid you're right out of luck. Why?
Hello.
Oh, hello, Jenny.
Hello.
Well, you're both looking a bit solemn.
No?
Yes.
Anything wrong?
No. Your father was telling me something.
Was he?
He seems to want me to marry his aunt now.
Who?
Your aunt?
Who did you say told you that?
You did.
Your aunt?
What did you just call me?
Oh, dear, how stupid of me. I bet you two haven't even been introduced properly, have you?
Of course we have. Don't be silly.
Daddy, this is Gregory, the one I told you so much about. Gregory, meet my father.
How'd you do, old boy? How'd you do? Yes.
There now, has everyone had enough?
Oh, thank you.
It was marvellous. Well, more than enough.
Good. Just a moment, and I'll bring out some coffee.
Oh, can I give you a hand?
No, thank you. It's all ready. I need to fetch it out.
Your mother can certainly cook a meal, I'll say that.
Yes, can't she?
Yes, she's a fine wife and mother.
Have you always lived in the country?
Oh, yes. Ever since Jenny was so high.
Yes.
In fact, you could say that this garden has watched her grow up, couldn't you, Jenny?
Yes.
You know, sometimes in the long summer evenings, we'd sit out here, Mother and I. She with her knitting, me with my cigar. And we'd picture her as she was then. Just as if it were today. Scampering over that rockery.
Really?
Funny little thing she was then. Very plump little girl she was then.
Was she?
Yes, one could almost say fat, certainly overweight.
Daddy.
Oh, her mother and I were quite worried about it. Almost circular she was.
I never have guessed that.
Oh, Daddy's exaggerating as usual.
Do you remember the nickname we used to have for you? Do you remember it, Ginny?
No, Daddy, it's all forgotten.
What was that?
Oh, nothing.
What was it?
Jumbo! Jumbo Ginny. Very funny, I thought.
Jumbo Ginny, rather good.
Oh, how very childish.
Oh, yes, but you were only a child then.
Yeah, well,
weren't
I'm
you?
not now.
Flat feet you had, too. Oh, I remember them very well. Big flat feet used to thunder around the place like a tram.
I did not.
Well, you were too young to remember.
Well, she's changed a lot, anyway.
Oh, she has. You know, I think it's a very good thing that we never know the person we're in love with when they're children. You know, I wonder if you'd have felt the same way about Ginny. Greg, if you'd known there was strawberry jam round her face, or when she had that skin trouble, or before her teeth were straight.
Daddy, please shut up.
I've
Greg
got
isn't
some
in the
photos
least.
somewhere. I'll show them to you before you go. I think you'll find them amusing.
Here we are. Now, black or white coffee, everyone. Ginny?
Oh, black, please.
I'm so glad we decided to come outside. It's so stuffy indoors. There we are. Greg?
White, thank you. Yes, I was just saying, this is a great place to grow up.
Yes, I suppose it is.
I mean, the air to start with.
Yeah, and the soil.
Soil?
It's very rich round here.
No, I was thinking more of a place to play.
Play? Talking about flowers or children?
Black.
Flowers.
Black flowers? Oh, yes, flowers. I thought we were.
Were we?
I beg your pardon?
I thought we were talking about children.
Oh, really? How do we get onto that subject?
The soil around here is renowned for bulb growing.
Yes, that's very true. Famous for it.
Is it?
Oh, definitely.
There you are.
Thank you, darling.
I just can't get over this weather.
It's a pity, really, that Greg and I will have to be leaving soon.
Oh, will you? Will we?
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, don't rush away on our account, will you? We've nothing planned for the rest of the day. Philip.
Hang on. Aren't we supposed to be going out?
No? Where?
Oh, I forgot to tell you, the Coopers telephoned. They want us to go round for tea.
Where?
Well, it's soon after lunch as we can make it. I forgot to tell you.
I thought the Coopers were in Italy.
Back yesterday.
They only went on Wednesday.
The currency restrictions, they'd run out of lira by Thursday night.
Oh, what bad luck.
Yes, wasn't it? I thought we ought to go round and cheer them up. Our friends the Coopers.
Oh, and they were looking forward to it, too. Well, it does look as if we will have to pop round and see them. I'm so sorry about this.
It's all right.
I hate to think that we're driving you away.
No, we do have to go.
Why?
We have to.
What?
We have to.
Well, if you're sure.
Why?
Do you live in London?
Greg?
Yes, I've got a couple of rooms.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, one room with a washstand down the middle, really.
How interesting. And how about
Oh, I've got the same flat, of course.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh, yes, of course. Is it nice?
Oh, of course you've never been to see me, have you?
No, of course we haven't.
Neither of us has.
No, well, you must both come sometime. They'd like it, wouldn't they, Greg?
Yes.
Thank you.
Besides, you ought to see what sort of condition she's living in.
Oh, we wouldn't want to intrude.
Oh, no, you'd be very welcome.
Well, I don't often get to London, really. Of course, Philip goes, but I find the clatter and the traffic get me down so much. I'm a real country bumpkin, I'm afraid.
Well, I think you get used to it.
Yes, well, it depends where you're brought up, I suppose.
Yes.
Were you born in London or in the country?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Some coffee out. Could I just get a glass of water?
Oh, yes, of course, I'll...
No, I can manage it.
Dear, I ought to go after her.
Oh, she'll be all right.
Oh, poor girl, I know what it's like.
Oh, it's all right. I know what's worrying her. Her trouble.
Yes, you pour it down your windpipe.
And you know the cause.
Yes, it's a valve that doesn't open properly. Gets stuck. Like that.
Really? I didn't know that.
No, neither did I before. More coffee, everyone.
Oh, no, thank you.
Dear poor girl, I do hope she's going to be all right.
She'll be all right.
She's really very sweet. I've quite taken to her, Philip. What does that mean?
I hope you have. Do you miss her? I mean, would you rather she lived nearer rather than in town?
Well, that's up to her, surely.
Well, you don't look the worrying sort.
Oh, no, we don't let it worry us.
What?
The thought of people living in town, we don't let it worry us, do we?
I can't say that we do.
Well, that's a very healthy attitude. I mean, it doesn't do any good at all, does it? I mean, 9 times out of 10, if parents fuss too much, they simply alienate their children.
Do you think so?
It's a fact.
Very true.
Yeah. Do you play bridge?
Not at all.
Ah, what a pity. Seeing as there are 4 of us.
Talking of trains, I think there's a good one back to town in about an hour.
Oh?
Yes. So if you both stroll quietly down to the station, take your time, take advantage of the sunshine, enjoy the walk, get a good breath of air, look at the village, stretch your legs, I think you really ought to start getting ready.
Oh, right.
It's only a 5-minute walk.
Well, they want to allow a bit longer, especially if they're going to take their time.
Yes, in that case...
There's really no hurry.
I think we'd better.
Well, as you wish. You've got a lovely day for it, anyway.
I hope I'll see you again before long.
Oh, surely.
Oh, I do hope so.
If I don't, and you should worry about her at all, I'll be keeping an eye on her. Keep her out of trouble.
Trouble? Has there been trouble?
Yes, in a way.
What was that?
She hasn't told you?
Oh, no, not a word.
Oh. Well, then I don't know that I should say anything.
Oh, I don't know that I should.
Oh, don't be so mean. I want to know. What sort of trouble? Something unpleasant.
Well, yes.
What?
Well, peculiar company, that sort of thing.
Peculiar company?
Yes.
Well, oh, go on. You can't stop there.
I don't know that she'd want me to tell you.
Oh, I'm very broad-minded. You don't have to worry.
She hasn't confided in me much. It appears she got mixed up with an older man.
Did she?
Not that there's anything wrong in that, I suppose. It's just that he seems to have played her around a bit.
Played her around.
He was married and so on. Anyway, she's had the good sense to get out.
Quite right, too. Yes, dear?
No.
Poor girl. Did you hear that, Philip? Poor girl.
Yes, I was just going to say there were probably two sides.
I think the selfishness on his, I should think.
I don't know.
Well, I do.
How do you know?
Well, it's obvious. I mean, what could he offer her?
Well, it depends on the sort of man he was.
Don't you think that makes an awful lot of difference?
If he was, say, for instance, a rather remarkable man.
Can't have been all that remarkable, can he, if he was carrying on behind his wife's back?
Unless he had a singularly unremarkable wife.
Probably his fault if she was. I mean, presumably he was happy enough with her when he married her.
Well, perhaps she proved to be something of a disappointment. Pretended to be something that she wasn't, and then turned out to be quite different.
He probably did exactly the same thing to her.
Possible.
She didn't go sneaking off and carrying on behind his back, though, did she?
How do I know she didn't? You tell me. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm only supposing, like you.
Who says I'm supposing?
Aren't you?
Yes. No, it's just that there are two sides to everything, that's all I'm saying. I think I proved my point.
Oh, rubbish. Haven't proved anything at all. Painfully clear what sort of man he was.
Not at all.
Some tired old businessman playing around with a young girl because he was bored.
Bet he was bored.
And then tossing her away like an old boot when he'd finished with her.
Has it struck you that she might have seduced him?
It's hardly likely.
Of course it is.
Well, you don't know what happened.
Do you?
No. Yes. No. But if I did know what happened, I know what would have happened. Mincing around the office in a skirt that was far too tight and dumb sight shorter than anybody else was wearing, sort of coy and forward at the same time. Oh, you can tell. You can tell when a girl's looking for something like she was. Well, she got it. I expect. Excuse me, I'm in a glass of water. Excuse me.
I don't think I've ever heard anything quite so rude in all my life. I'm so sorry. I don't know what you must be thinking.
I think it's more worrying than anything.
I haven't seen him like that for ages. He was almost involved.
If you don't mind my saying so, after all, he is your husband. He does appear to me to be quite definitely a bit unhinged.
Have you noticed that?
It's difficult not to.
You're quite right. I was afraid it was just me. Everyone else I know seems to regard him as perfectly normal.
Hardly.
Do you think he's a psychopath?
Possibly.
I did whisper something to that effect to the doctor the last time he was here.
And what did he say?
I don't think he quite heard me. He's rather deaf.
Ah. There's this business with Ginny just now. I mean, let's face it, from the way he was talking, he didn't seem to give a damn about her, did he? I mean, the way I see it, because of some misconduct in the past, he's trying to disclaim her. But when you boil it down, she is as much his daughter as yours, if not more so.
Mine?
That's the way I see it, anyway.
She's not my daughter.
I mean, to shrug off what happened to her, even to defend the man.
She's not my daughter.
That is bordering on irresponsibility of the worst sort.
She's not my daughter. Well, I don't know where you got that idea from. You're joking, aren't you? You must be my daughter. No, you haven't been thinking that, have you? You can't have done. You're pulling my leg.
She's not your daughter.
Certainly not.
You still see it that way, do you?
No relation of mine at all.
You don't know how sorry I am to hear you talk like this.
So am I, hulking great girl.
It's about time you tried to come to terms with it, isn't it?
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
Why turn your back on it? Ignore something that happened over 20 years ago. What's the point?
I'm afraid I'm very lost.
We talk about your husband's attitude, but yours is twice as dangerous. What do you think it is like for a girl to grow up in this kind of atmosphere? No wonder it came near to ruining her life with a father who is a moral schizophrenic and a mother who refuses to admit her existence at all.
Oh, poor girl.
Yes, poor girl.
I didn't know. How terrible.
You see what I'm driving at?
Oh, indeed I do. No wonder.
Yes.
It's irresponsible, isn't it? I mean, people of that sort ought not to have children in the first place, ought they?
They haven't faced up to it, that's what it is.
No, indeed they haven't.
You do see that, then?
Oh, yes, I do.
Fine.
I'm not a mother, though. Please, let's get that quite straight.
This is the first and last time I do things the proper way, let me tell you that. It just so happened that I was fond enough of Ginny to spend 19 and 6 cheap day return, valid 1 day only, to come down and see her parents. Big gesture by me, that was. 19 and 6, ye gods. And what do I get? A couple of people so wrapped up in themselves they couldn't care less whether I came down or not. No, what did she didn't want me to come and see you? If I had parents like you two, I think I would volunteer for an orphanage.
You really are completely mad.
I think I must be. 19 and 6, that's nearly a quid. Do you realise that?
Nobody asked you to come.
True.
Either of you, as far as I know, you both crashed in here uninvited.
Crashed in? Right, I'm off.
And you got a free meal in the bargain. I don't know what you're complaining about.
A free meal? Oh, I am sorry. Didn't I pay you for that? I did mean to. Hang on a minute. I'll settle up with you if you like.
Oh, don't be so silly.
No, I insist. I'll settle for both of us whilst I'm about it.
What on earth are you doing?
I'm looking for my wallet.
Oh, really?
Now, how much do I owe you? Would 10 bob be enough? Sorry, I can't afford any more.
I don't know what's come over you.
Here, hold these, will you?
All I said was if you begrudged the fare so much, why did you come?
It's in here somewhere.
Oh, send me a check if you really want to.
Nope. Here we are. Now, 10 bob, was it? I'll have to make it 7 and 6.
I refuse to take it.
Yep, 7 and 6. I'll post you the extra £half. Don't bother to send a receipt.
Thank you.
Right, that's the lot, is it? I think so. Good. I'll just find Ginny and we'll be off.
What about your slippers?
They're not mine. Keep them.
Well, whose are they then?
Better ask her that.
Well, they're not hers, are they?
They were in her flat.
Well, what am I supposed to do with them?
I don't know. Give them to your husband or something.
Oh, thank you very much, but he's already got a pair just like...
I'm off then.
Got a pair. Just like... Wait!
What?
I was just looking at these slippers.
What about them?
Nothing. It's just that they're about my husband's size. I think he might be quite glad of them.
Good. Yes. Yes, I'm sure he would. You keep them.
Recovered at last.
I'm sorry, I couldn't stop coughing.
Better now.
Yes, thank you.
Must have been very awkward for you. Why don't you sit down and enjoy the sun while you can before you go? I'll just go into the kitchen. If I can just get a little clearer, then we can all have a chat.
Crunch.
Come on, Greg, time we were going.
There's no rush.
Hold on a minute, Jenny, old girl.
We're going.
Greg and I haven't had a chance for our final chat.
And you're not going to.
No, that's no way to talk to your father, Jenny.
Oh, goodbye, we're going.
No. With your permission, Jenny. Now, as I understand it, you two want to get married. Is that it?
Ah, the penny's dropped.
Thank you. Nice of you to have realised.
Well, Greg, I have a special favour to ask of you before you go.
No.
Now, don't jump down my throat, Jenny, before I've finished.
Just a second, darling.
Thank you, Greg. Come sit down.
Thanks.
It's really in the nature of a personal favour. You're fully entitled to say no, of course, if you feel it's too much of an imposition. It's entirely up to you, as I say. The fact is, in the next few weeks, I had planned a little surprise for Ginny. Now, I'd always promised her mother that before Ginny was taken from us, as it were, I'd give her one really big present to remember us by all her life.
What's that?
Well, in just over a month, I'm going on a long business trip to the continent. It's a sort of grand tour of inspection of all our foreign branches. France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, Holland, Denmark, and Sweden.
Good. Have a nice time, won't you?
I'd like to take you with me.
What?
I'd like come with me.
What?
What do you say, Greg?
No, no.
6 weeks.
Why, it's not for long, is it?
A lot can happen in 6 weeks.
What, you're telling
Well, I
me?
realise it's a big thing to ask, and you've every right to say no, of course, but if you do both agree, not only will you have done something for Ginny, but you will have the satisfaction of knowing that you've made a father very happy.
Well,
It's too much to ask.
yes, I see what you mean. Okay.
Oh, Greg.
Thank you, Greg. Are you sure? I can always cancel all the arrangements.
No, of course not.
Greg, you can't agree to this. Say you don't. You're mad, please.
I don't know. I mean, it's only your father.
You think I'm going to let
She
you
would
get
write,
away
I'm
with...
sure you'd write, wouldn't you, Ginny?
Philip.
She's a very good letter writer. Always writes to me when I'm away, don't you, Ginny? Lovely letters. I've kept them all somewhere. I'll let you read them sometime, Greg, when we're on our own. Now, have you got all your things, your coat, bag? Well, you better be on your way. Don't want to miss any more trains today, do you?
No, right.
Well, yes. Have a pleasant trip back there. Bye.
We haven't said goodbye to your wife.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'll explain you had to dash off. We'll see you again before long, I hope.
Surely. Cheerio again.
Goodbye. Don't cheer up, Ginny. It'll be a wonderful holiday for you. You'll enjoy every minute of it, I promise.
Enjoy what?
Just in time to see them off.
Oh, really?
Yes, goodbye then.
What's Ginny supposed to enjoy?
A trip to the continent.
Oh, really? How lovely.
She doesn't seem to think so.
You're going to miss that train, you know.
No, you don't know what you're saying. Wish I'd had the chance for a trip like that when I was your age. I'd have gone like a shot.
Yes, but it's all settled now anyway. You're going to have to run for it, you know.
How are you
Why-
going? On your own?
No. No, it's not really finally decided.
They're both going.
In a manner of speaking.
Huh?
Your husband thought he'd take Ginny along with him on his business trip?
Splendid.
Now, don't get the wrong... Business naturally.
Of course.
That's all it is.
Your idea, of course.
Yes. No. Yes. In a manner of... cheerio, then.
I see.
Yes. Well, you're both going to have to sprint flat out if you want to catch that train of yours.
I don't think the idea will come to anything anyway.
Why ever not?
Well, I'm not awfully keen, that's all.
Can't quite believe that. Where are you planning on going?
Nowhere special.
France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, Holland, Denmark, and Sweden.
And you're not keen?
No.
How about you, Greg?
Well, it's up to Ginny if she wants to go.
She must.
It'll just mean our putting off getting married, that's all.
Why?
Well, if she's away,
When are you going?
Month, if at all.
Well, that's plenty of time to get married. A month? That's ample time.
I'm not sure if that was quite the idea.
Oh, well, it seems obvious. Don't you agree, Philip? That they should get married as soon as possible.
Oh, yes, yes.
I should take advantage of the idea while he's in the mood, Greg. I doubt if you'll get the chance of a honeymoon like this again in a hurry.
Oh.
Will they? Daddy.
Oh, that's a bit different. I thought we were supposed to wait until after she came back.
Oh, no. That was just an idea that occurred to me for some reason. I don't know why. That you might want to hold on for a bit.
But surely they don't.
No, that was Daddy's idea, not ours.
Ah, silly Daddy.
Yes, silly Daddy.
Silly old Daddy.
So we can go ahead then?
Philip?
What? Oh, yes.
Oh, thank you, Daddy.
Pleasure.
Thanks.
And thank you, Mummy.
It was nothing, darling, nothing. Do take great care of yourself in future, won't you? Now, you really are going to have to run for that train.
Right.
Make sure you've got everything, won't you? Because heaven knows when we'll be seeing you again.
I'll fix up about the wedding and so on. Have to come down again, I suppose, and sort things out.
No, won't be necessary.
The only thing is, I'm not sure who pays for everything, that's all.
You do.
Oh.
Goodbye, Daddy. Look after Mummy, won't you?
As always. Don't forget Father's Day, will you?
Goodbye. Thanks for everything.
It's a pleasure, Greg.
It's nice to have met you.
Goodbye.
Bye. Right wrong for each other, of course. Be a disastrous marriage. Great fun for them while it lasts.
I gather that you gathered the general gist of things.
Just a little gist, yes. There's no need to go round to the Coopers now, is there?
No?
No. Well, we'll have some tea out here then, shall we? Tell you one thing, though. Jolly glad we didn't have a daughter. She'd have been a terrible handful, wouldn't she?
You're right there, she would. Sheila?
Yes?
Oh, Sheila, what are these doing in here?
I don't know, darling. You really should look after your things more carefully.
My things are not mine.
Of course they're yours. I bought them for
No,
you.
they're not. They look a bit like them, same type and same sort of texture and shape.
Well, then they're yours.
No, they're not. The linings are different.
What?
Mine were red.
There they were. Oh, dear.
What's the matter?
I was just wondering how that poor boy is going to get on.
Don't mind about that. Whose are these?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?